Every other asset on earth, anything else you can own, houses, gold, silver, commodities, stocks, bonds, when the price goes up, the supply increases. If I increase the price of any stock by a factor of 10, the company issues more stock.
Of course.
Bitcoin's the only thing in the world that's inelastic to price. If the price of Bitcoin triples, you can't make any more. If the price goes up by a factor of a million, you can't make any more.
And there's some elephant from Michael Saylor. He's sitting there telling you why Bitcoin is important to not just the crypto ecosystem, but to the world. As the price goes up, the supply goes up. You can't create any more Bitcoin. No matter how much the price goes up, you can't print more shares, you can't do a stock split, you can't build more. They can mine some more, but that's capped at 21 million. With that, what's happening, Crypto Crew? Sean's coming back at you with yet another cryptocurrency video.
Hey guys, sorry for the quick interruption, but if you're interested in trading MicroStrategy options, any other stock out there, Bitcoin, Solana, or any other crypto out there, you can now do that on MooMoo. And if you sign up with our affiliate link, which we pin in the comment section, also in the description below, when you sign up and deposit any amount, you're going to receive up to 20 free stocks, and each one of these stocks could be valued at up to $2,000. So make sure to sign up with MooMoo. Go get that free money. Now let's go ahead and get back to the video.
And to piggyback on that, if you guys want some free stuff, don't forget your free stocks. 15 free stocks, each valued up to $2,000. Here's our link right here. And getting straight into it, we see Ched's taking a look at Bitcoin is bouncing up and retesting that 200 daily moving average. Look here. This is on the 12-hour chart. Current time is recording. We are at 98.3K. Could we see lower price action? We came back and bounced right off of this 50 moving average, and could we be getting ready to have a continuation leg to the upside? Well, looking down on the 4-hour, do we see anything different? And right here, see this red line? That's had 200 moving average, what we mentioned, and Bitcoin has made a brief relief rally. This could be a rounding bottom on the 4-hour, and if we take a look at this price action right here, we do see we did put in a higher low, and then right here we bottomed out, and the RSI put in a higher low as well, so there's no divergences there, but we do potentially see this relief pattern, and right now we're getting sort of stomped out by the 200 moving average. Bitcoin has to get back above this level. This average is right around 98.4K. If we consolidate right below, you know, that definitely could be a bullish sign. But look here, this candlestick is definitely bullish. We could be forming some type of, you know, bull flag pattern potentially. You don't know until you know. You just gotta sit here and see how this plays out. This doesn't really look perfect, but if this is some type of bull flag, we could see a continuation to the upside that would get above all the moving averages with the technical target back up to 103,000. And as you see, we've melted down. Could we have a melt back up to new all-time highs? We have to pay attention to this in the short to mid-term. From Josh, man, shout out to him. If you don't know Josh, check out the Irresponsibly Long MSTR channel on Twitter. But what he's saying, Trump plans to extend presidential term for 40 years with new executive order. Check this out. What does this mean? In an unprecedented move that has left political analysts and constitutional scholars reeling, President-elect Donald Trump has announced plans to sign an executive order on his first day in office, January 20, 2025. This audacious decree aims to amend Article 2, Section 1, Clause 1 of the U.S. Constitution by changing the word 4 to 40, thereby extending the presidential term from 4 years to an astonishing 40. So Donald Trump's trying to change up. I'm not sure if this is real, but legal experts have been quick to point out that an executive order cannot unilaterally alter the Constitution. Constitutional law professor Dr. Jane Smith from Harvard Law School was quoted saying, "This is a fundamental misunderstanding of how our government works. You can't just change the Constitution with an executive order. It requires a constitutional amendment, which involves Congress and the states." Well, everything's red right now. The House is red, the Senate's red, the White House is red. Well, this change is definitely interesting, but MicroStrategy holders and Bitcoin maxis alike gathered outside chanting, "Have fun staying president." Is this going to be something that Trump's going to be able to get done? We'll see, but Michael Saylor's got an idea of his own. Michael's MicroStrategy wants ability to issue enough shares to buy all of the world's Bitcoins. He says he gets all his best ideas from Barron's. So shout out to Michael. Can we assume that Michael Saylor has the $3.5 trillion golden handshake behind closed doors? Concerns regarding MicroStrategy's strategy to increase its share count by 3,100. Zoom out to see what's going on. People were freaking out about MicroStrategy's increasing shares, and that's not diluting the price. You got to zoom out and see the bigger picture and see what's actually going on. Is there a reasoning behind all this? Don Leclerc is weighing in on why it's foolish to freak out on the share increase. Everything Saylor and MicroStrategy Treasury team do is geared to benefit common shareholders. So just understand this first thing right here. Everything Saylor and the MicroStrategy Treasury team do is geared to benefit common shareholders. When they're getting more Bitcoin per share, do the math. The entire KPI used by management is about adding quantifiable value per share in Bitcoin terms. That's what I just said. Any math where you assume $10 billion share dilution today is needlessly stupid. The second part, the authorized share count limit is a threshold that shareholders have to approve to raise. Many pubcos in the US have a massive authorized share count, so they can just never have to call another extraordinary shareholder meeting to vote on an increase. So it's not that big of a deal. As such, MetaPlanet has increased authorized shares twice this year, from 22.8 million to 65 million, and then from 65 million to 145 million. So guys, don't freak out. This is common things that companies do. And right here, we have an update from Anthony Pompliano. Anthony Pompliano is talking about what Trump's next step should be. Let's hear it from Ant.
That said, let's take a look at Bitcoin that has been moving slower after blowing through the $100,000 mark. It's off another $3,700 today at $93,188. It's posting its first weekly loss since Trump's election victory back in November. So heading in the other direction a little bit. Anthony Pompliano, professional capital management founder and CEO, joins us now. Anthony, great to have you here. I guess the question is, can Bitcoin continue to outperform in 2025?
I definitely think that Bitcoin can continue to outperform. If you look at a bunch of the tailwinds, you've got the ETFs that now are bringing in hundreds of billions of dollars over time. You also see that there are nation states that are starting to buy up Bitcoin. The U.S. is talking about a Bitcoin strategic reserve. You also have a much more friendly regulatory environment that's coming in 2025. And on top of that, you have corporations that are buying lots of Bitcoin as well. And so when you look at those tailwinds, that's obviously a boom, and people get nervous whenever there's a price drawdown. But if you go back to the last two bull markets, we saw 13 different times that there was a drawdown of 10% or more during that Bitcoin bull market. And so this is very normal. People should not get worried. And I continue to think that Bitcoin will do very well in 2025.
Well, Donald Trump is reportedly pitching a massive $280 trillion price Bitcoin reserve, basically to save the dollar. What do you make of that? And what will it do to the price of Bitcoin?
Well, I think there's two different things here. The first question is the dollar in trouble? And the answer to that question so far is no. We have a national debt problem. And so there could be issues with the dollar in the future if we have to devalue it in order to monetize that debt. But currently, the dollar continues to be very popular globally. People want dollars. We see that with stablecoin usage and other things on an international basis. The second question, and a very important question, is should the United States buy Bitcoin for its strategic Bitcoin reserve? I think the answer to that is yes. Other countries are already buying up Bitcoin. There's only 21 million that will ever be available. And so the downside risk to going ahead and buying tens of billions of dollars of Bitcoin is drastically outweighed by the potential upside. If the United States wants to be a leader on this front, then it needs to own Bitcoin on its balance sheet. If Bitcoin is good for individuals and companies, it'll be great for the United States as well.
I got 20 seconds. Is the current pullback a buying opportunity in your mind?
Every time that Bitcoin has drawn down and you've bought it and you held till about this time, it's been very good. And so I think that people who continue to dollar cost average into a finite asset like Bitcoin will do very well in the future.